studio travelers. It is I, Altera Delirio, the star inhabiting the abandoned space station. Uh, and I would like to say a few things very quickly. I've been struggling a lot with my voice since like last week. Um, just in my health in general is why I had to move the stream like twice. Um, So I would just like to preface this that while I am going to try and get to do both like day 3 and day 4, um I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Like I can promise that we're at least going to do day 3. Um and afterwards I'll see like okay, I feel okay, I don't feel okay enough to continue and do day 4 because my throat's been kind of affected these past few days, and I'm still kind of here with it. So yeah, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, we'll continue with Michael. Obviously, with the music studio. And uh, oh, this is gonna be for someone else because it has a question mark. So I'm just gonna go with this one. Okay. I think I have because I've played Michael Root on my own time, but I haven't finished it. I think I might have actually gone until day 3, actually. Like, I vaguely remember, I think I did do interview follow-up, and I think that was Michael, so... We'll see. Who knows how many streets we've passed at this point? All I know is that we've been riding around for longer than I thought. Hawkins, are we there yet? Yes about. You said that 15 minutes ago. Relax, we're just about there, and then you'll see it was all worth it. You better be right. Feels like I've been on this bike for hours, and all because he said he'd take me to the first music studio they'd recorded many years back. He also said that Michael would already be waiting for us there. Watching the streets, I start to recognize a familiar business district ahead. Not to mention, all those dazzling hotels and venues where the real action is at. We should be pulling up in just a minute if the GPS is on the money. What was the record studio called again? It was the Summer Drummer Bummer something? The what bummer? I'll recognize it. He says that, but he sure doesn't seem like he's nervous about missing the spot. Oh, well, what do you know? We've arrived just in time. Whistling to himself, Hawkins pulls up between two buildings. I wait for him to spot the parking garages before he promptly turns off his bike instead. Wait, are we really here? I told you where we were going was a surprise, didn't I? You never really said anything else. Follow me, darling. I thought you know by now that I'm not the meticulous planner of the bunch. That's why Michael knows they're precious to us. Now then, that way we go. Hold it! You've brought me to a hotel. Always a keen observer, aren't you? So, what's a music studio doing inside a hotel? Huh, that's a very good question. As much as he knows I'm onto him, he's even more playful today. He's shamelessly taunting me now. Biting him. Biting him like a chew toy and just like shaking my head. Just... He's like a little squeak toy to me. Well, would you believe me if I said I don't remember where the studio is? Can't you ask Michael then? I very well could, but I know for a fact that they wouldn't be looking at their phone right now. Nor do I think they'd be allowed to. What do you mean? Ah, well. I did promise to show you something interesting, so come with me, darling. Don't want to follow me to the bushes. Say it again? Did you not hear me before? I need you and me to get into these bushes now. Give me one good reason why. Altair, darling. I know the tension's been palpable lately, but I think you need to realize that I never asked you to get into a bush without a good reason. And might I say, this is a really, really, really brilliant one. Hawkins. Please, I promise you won't regret it. That was the thrill you're about to get. Now that you've said that... Okay, fine, I won't tease you about it. But do get in the bushes. I don't think the subjects would take too kindly if they knew that there were owls at their window. As much as I want to ask, I'm hitting a point where my curiosity is taking over. Or rather, the point where Hawkins' usual nonsense could possibly start making sense. If he does try anything, I can always donkey kick him into the next dimension, and he'd be some other universe's problem then. I watch as his first sinks down into the bushes along the edge of the hotel building. Following him, I start crouching next to him. Well, this has to be the second least graceful thing I've done today. The two of us are playing a game of jigsaw as we try to avoid catching dirt. To my surprise, Hawkins seems more interested in crawling along the edge than trying anything funny. Still, I've got my donkey kick locked and loaded. Come this way. I think we'll get a better angle from here. Dude. Better angle for what exactly? For that. Hawkins pokes his head out just enough to point over to a glass window up ahead. Inside, there's people having lunch on the private terrace, with the ceiling open to welcome the breeze. Their soft chatter soon reach us, as a familiar name catches me by surprise. Oh, you haven't touched your your huh? Oh my god, bro, my voice is not built for this right now. Oh, you haven't touched your Gravlax yet, Mikey? Pushing past the bushes, I squint straight into the window. It's Michael, and they're having lunch with the parents, hence the privacy. I take it that's why you didn't want to show me to the lobby. Keen as always, darling. Keen as always. Not sure if you had the pleasure of spying on them before, but the silver-haired fox to Snow White's right is Daddy. And when I say Daddy, it's that he's head daddy whose broadcasting company invests in all of the major music shows abroad. And the stunning empress across from him is Elisabetta, aka Vampire Mommy. This dude. And maybe someday I can call her that too. Hawkins, please. No, don't crush my dreams either. As you can tell, Michael had to inherit their beauty from someone. But, well, what? What's the matter? I can't stop yawning now. Just sit back and listen. Curious, I turned my attention back to Michael at lunch. Their parents sit currently beside him while keeping an eye on each other as they sip at their wine. Ah, before I forget, I saw the latest feature they did on you, my dearest. The one where they did your shoot at the Opera House. I didn't realize it was going to be out before the concert, otherwise we would have told our friends. We could have made a dinner out of it. Imagine making a dinner out of every fucking, like, photo shoot your famous kid does. Like, that sounds exhausting. I can't stop yawning all of a sudden. Jesus Christ. Oh, that one? I was surprised it came early too. Oh? They didn't tell you which issue it'd be? Not that I recall, but there's just been a lot going on. Even later, I've got another rehearsal. Well, of course it's been busy. I'm simply glad they're giving you the proper press this time. You'd think that when you were with Oracle, they would have done even more for the three of you when they had the chance. Imagine my surprise that a teeny tiny label like Tesseract knows how to handle your image. They're not tiny either, Mother. Soteria's also signed with them. I know that, but still. They're not even close to Arctos Galaxy Way or Plasma Sound for that matter. If you want us to be okay with you refusing the Arcto group, the very least we're expecting is for H20 to treat you well. They should be the ones appreciating the talent they've got in their hands, although your father and I know you would have had a flawless debut with Arcto by now. That's only if the universe went according to your timeline. You're always selling yourself short, my dearest Mikey, and I don't know why. Are you both saying that's what I'm doing right now? Because that teeny tiny company has given me a lot of space to work on more original work than ever before. In fact, that's what the article was all about, or did you not read it? I watch as Michael's father finally looks up from his meal to join the conversation. The moment he does, Michael goes dead still. Oh no, do not like that one bit. Ooh. Did you finally talk to management about the apartment situation? It hasn't come up, so no. That's not what I was asking. I take it you haven't spoken to them then, nor are you planning to? Listen, Michael is roommating, okay? They're roommates. They are roommates, if you get what I mean. God, eventually people are not gonna understand what that means and I'm gonna crash out over it. I personally don't see the point, Father. Hawkins and Frey's both needed a place to stay, and I saved management the extra step of having to arrange that. It's made rehearsals easier and they're good company. Yes, you've told us that already. It's your one excuse. They are good company, Father. That should at least matter for something, right? You mean the same company who pulled out midway through their contract without telling you? That's not what happened either. Not entirely, but you can't blame us for seeing the disparity between the three of you. Can we discuss the fact that Michael asked them, like, hey, so did you not read the article about me? And they're immediately like, so what if we hound you over this non-issue that we are having an issue with, instead of admitting that we didn't read the article about our kid? Even though we were like all seconds ago being like, oh yeah, let's make like a dinner out of it. Like, oh my god. See, this is why Hawkins hates them. Me too, buddy. Me too. You know well enough that they need to remember your value to their group. Do they even know that you rejected an offer from Arcto for them? They do know, but I have no intention of bringing it up at every sentence. So, is that what this is really about? They need to know that you sacrificed for them, that's all. If you're so hell-bent on starting smaller when you could be filling stadiums alone, then at the very least they should remember that every time you're slacking off. Your father's right, Mikey. Your image is everything, as is ours. There it is. There it is. Say it with a full chest. It'd be a crime to have to experience that time in our lives all over again. Do you think the calls we had to make to ensure that nothing published would keep you from a normal life? It was a nightmare. Oh no, how could you as parents do the bare minimum to keep your kids safe and secure? Wow, that's such a huge sacrifice of you two. Amazing. 10 stars. Wow, parents of the year. Pissing me off for 15 minutes in. The moment she says that, Michael relents against her seat. I know that being around your parents is one thing, but Michael looks practically disarmed here. This picturesque lunch is anything but peaceful when it's really just a trap. Growing restless, I turn to Hawkins beside me, only to find him seizing against the bushes. Me too, buddy! Lovely people, aren't they? Sure, they care about whether we're taking care of their precious prodigy or not. But even if we did, it's never enough. Michael seems to think it is. Did you and Frey really know about the Arcto deal? Of course we did. Michael themselves called us up right after they dished it, and we made plans for Stellifier the same day. It'd be the same thing as if Michael and I didn't know Frey taught at Procyon U. You think we three would know more about each other than the crumbs everybody else gets? Well, that can't always be said for every idol group. True, but you know who you're talking to. And with that, I suggest you stand up before that creepy crawly goes up your leg. Wait, get up, get up, get up, get Before I know it, I yelled straight out of the bush. Now I'm really throwing those donkey kicks, but surprisingly they're not a Hawkins. I continue shaking my leg in a frenzy until finally I manage to send the six-legged fiend flying back into the bushes. Panting, I'm ready to back into the bush when... Hi! Hi! Hi, Michael! Hi! There, the three of them are, staring at me in horror from the window. Now this is the single most ungraceful thing I've done today. Just as I'm beginning to process this moment, I see Christopher already trying to get a hold of staff. Security! Wait, stop! Mikey, what's... Spotting security nearby, Michael rushes straight for the door instead to get to me first. Altair, what were you... What? The bushes? Michael doesn't even know where to begin as they look at me from head to toe, then back to their parents who have security on standby. Oh god, this is a mess. Honestly, it was already a mess before you came out of the... Their voice clings to me in a whisper as we slowly approach to head inside. Wait, seriously, why were you in the bushes? You'll have to ask Hawkins, he's still in there. What? I wait for Michael to spot him from the corner of their eye. When they finally turn back, they raise an eyebrow at me. There's no Hawkins. On why on earth would you two be even... Tell me you didn't. Well, Mikey, do you know this person? Composing themselves, Michael quickly put a hand on my arm, coaxing me to get ready. As a matter of fact, we do know each other. Mother, father, this is Altair Farbright magazine. As it is, he's currently profiling us for their feature. Is he now? How miraculous that he knew where to find us. I thought we told him to tell the press we were launching at the Sky Story instead. You can tell she's not the slightest convinced, but I want to appreciate her for playing along. That is, if she's playing along. Meanwhile, her husband is another story. So since when did Farbright send them off to go hide in the bushes? They're not the Chatterbox Weekly, for God's sake. Or the Daily Tempest, either. And you said your name was Altair, is that right? Jesus fucking Christ. Well, actually, I didn't say it. Michael said my name, so... Hawkins. Now, where would you get such a tip that we'd be here today? I have to choose the second one, because I bet that's gonna be the annoying answer to this bitch. Oh, well, I guess I must have seen it in a dream. For a moment I half expect one of them to snap at me. Yet to my surprise, Elisabetta looks upon me with a certain concern. Oh, my dear. She thinks I'm crazy. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror, ma'am? Mikey, please don't tell me you've taken your friend here to meet with Acacia again. Who the fuck is Acacia? That's in your names. Oh, that's Hawkins' mother. Are you insulting Hawkins' mother, you bitch? I'll leave her out of this. I know that everybody says she's gifted, but you know how I feel about that woman's readings. She claims to be able to read the future, but explain to me how she couldn't foretell that she'd have another child 10 years after Hawkins. What is this woman's issue, bro? As for words, I turn to Michael, yet they're already sighing hard into their hands. No, Mother. I'm pretty sure he hasn't met Hawkins' mother yet. At least I like to think so. Honestly, I haven't. Oh, thank God. For a moment there, I thought you were one of her clients. She's always saying she sees things in dreams, so how was I supposed to know the difference? Feel free to put that on the record. It's not like they haven't already used that headline on the two of us already. Oh, but does this mean you also haven't met Hawkins yet? Now, that, unfortunately, he has done. Unfortunately. To my horror, Elisabetta can't help but give me a supernatural smile. A rather gleeful one. Oh, I don't like her. Oh, so you have met him, Altair? So you understand now, right? Curious, I look over to see if her husband is still listening. Even Michael seems a bit stiff while still keeping close to me. Now I'm starting to see why Hawkins calls her the vampire mommy. Before anything else, Michael takes a step as security finally begins to disperse. You know, I do think I remember telling Altair something about today. I think I was just trying to arrange a proper time for us to continue our interview from earlier. Well, you know that now's not the time. Yes, but will you excuse us for a moment then? I'd rather reschedule now than later. I watched as Michael's parents exchanged an curt glance with each other before coming to the same contrived nod. Make it quick. I'll just be a moment then. Shall I take you to the lobby, Altair? We're so running out of here. Like, we're so doing a getaway. Offering their arm to me, they managed to lead me out of the den of snakes with a swift crack for a smile at their mother. Elizabeth, the only one who bids me with a wave, while her husband is already heading back to his seat. Well, it could be worse. Michael and I continue to hold our breaths until we're finally out of sight from the terrace. I can see the hotel entrance up ahead. Just as I keep searching for any sign of Hawkins, Michael pulls me towards a nearby wall crevice among the bushes instead. Tell me something before I'm supposed to let you go. Why are you really here? Without realizing, they drift their hand down my arm, brushing their fingers against mine. Okay. Tell me, please. What are you really looking for by coming here? Yeah, no, don't care about the first one. We're leaving. With Michael's attention now solely upon me, I lean in close to their ear. I came here to kidnap you. Michael falls silent, their gaze tight on mine. Altair, please. If you're not being serious, then I suggest you realize that you're on the verge of doing. And what if I am? What if I'm really here to take you from this place? Well then. You and your little smile, boy. I have no choice but to play along. Before I can say anything, Michael takes a step towards me. Then another, and another. Always the same playfully knowing smile. Before I know it, my back meets the wall, while Michael's hand meets mine. So, what's this escape plan you had in mind? Because, you know, there's lots of different ways you could convince taking me out of this situation. Can I speak? Can I speak? Can I speak? Because, you know, there's lots of different ways you could conceive taking me out of this situation. Whatever. Good enough. Hi! Struggling to speak. But for any of them to work, I suppose I'll have to go along with whatever's running through that precious mind of yours. Despite their words, they take pleasure in leisurely moving to stroke my hair aside. Taking a good look at me, they can't resist themselves. So should I create a diversion first? I don't know why, but like in all of the routes, almost every single time the third option has been the correct one, so I'm just going with the third option. Because I also think this one's funny. So, now I'm the one being kidnapped? Judging from this position, I suppose one might think that. Well, I'm not the one being forced to sit through an awkward lunch. You sure aren't, although I can't imagine crouching in the dirt being much of a party either. So, if you had to choose... Leaning in, Michael gently brings their lips along my ear. Isn't this a better alternative? Okay. Their hand glides along the side of my face, gently coaxing me in. I can feel their warm breath on my ear as I make out the soft whine in their voice. Like a heartfelt plea and a sigh of satisfaction all at once. Altair, why did you really come here? A summary of all of the love interests so far. One second, I need to... There we go. A summary of all the love interests so far. Hawkins is a menace, Frey is a menace, and Michael is a menace. They're all menaces. In different flavors. Wouldn't you have rather preferred to see me back in the loft or even the studio? You could have just let me have this. But now that you know, what are you going to do? Should I start bracing myself for seeing their photos with mine on page 42? I told you already, Michael. I didn't know you were going to be here. That doesn't answer my question. And again, I know you don't have to. But that only leaves me wishing I'd have the nerve to beg. Okay. Chill. Still, that could change. And you think it will? Well, we are getting to know each other quite well, aren't we? So, I'll never say never. Michael's fingers soon find my lips, brushing along them in a careful movement. There's no way to read what's running through their mind, not even from their delicate touch. What are they really waiting for right now? Is it to praise me for seeing them as they are? Or is it to punish me for knowing what goes on beyond those glass doors? With the question looming between us, I can say I can sense Michael also wants answers. Yet as our lips slowly begin to move towards each other's... If it isn't my favorite— Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, put those tongues away! The two of us pull back at once, but Hawkins runs in fast. He keeps looking out for security even as he's already wedged himself between us. God, haven't I taught you anything about timing, Michael? When kissing the cuties, you need to crash lips at least a 69-degree angle to keep the cameras guessing. What makes you think that's what we were doing? Don't give me that. Let's go get on the bike instead, you two. If anyone's going to be doing a kidnapping, it was always going to be me. And again, you know this is more of a rescue. Am I right or am I right? I'll have to measure them after we leave. Do what you must, as long as you two start putting your helmets on soon. Now, the bike's near the lobby. Had you even hide it away earlier? I know a couple bellhops. I'm sure you do, buddy. Anyway, come along, it's rescue time. It was Michael looking back towards the terrace. A short message should be enough. Will it really be, Michael? I end the camera overhead. Michael ducks as I reach for my hand. Who knows? Was that a... Oh my god. Who knows? But as of right now, I'd rather be contemplating what it'll take to have you kidnap me again. Yay. Do we actually have a new message? We do. Hello, buddy. I can rest my voice now.
So, will any of that kidnapping incident make it into your writing?
I love their voice actor, actually. Their voice actor sounds so sweet.
Well, I'm currently on the treadmill, and I randomly remembered that you have quite a bit on me. You guessed correctly. So, how about an off-the-record deal?
Yeah, a deal?
What if I take you out for lunch sometime, and you can probe me for secrets then?
I was about to check if we had any new pictures, and then I remembered there is a chance of seeing that one Frey picture again. And I'm saving my sanity from that. So we're going on to interview and seeing how my voice is doing currently. I don't think we're getting to day 4. Is it this door then? Yes, no, wait, not that one. It's this one right here. You don't want to knock on their door. Do you know them well? Just enough to know they have a yappy dog. Now, let me find the key. Just use mine instead. Finally, the door clicks open. Before anything, Michael goes to get the lights as the rest of us step inside with the weight of the long workday behind us. Except, this isn't at all where I was planning to end up today. It was only 5 questions in with these 3 before the H20 office decided to call it an early day. So naturally, the trio suggested that we could finish the interview another time. Except I didn't think they'd meet tonight. Well then, welcome to our hideout. Our pad, our cave, our humble abode, our love nest, whatever you want to call it. Love nest? Really? I got outvoted and wanted to call it the hate nest. Nah, there's no room for hate here. Only love. That said, we probably would have spruced up the place if we known you'd be coming by. Well, being here is just as much of a surprise for you three. Alright, I can see. Maybe we didn't think it happened today, but it's not like we all hadn't thought about it. Right? Seeing his chance, Crab walks straight for his bedroom before anyone can stop him. Michael only gets about 3 steps in before cringing at Hawkins instead. Don't be creepy, Hawkins. Although I do agree that we should have cleaned this place up a bit more. Correction. You should have picked up your pants off the couch at the very least. Those were from this morning, though. And what? Suddenly they're illegible to be cleaned up? Hawkins can't resist rolling his eyes as he scoops his pants off the sofa. The two of them leer at each other before Michael welcomes me to take a seat with them. I do apologize for bringing you into such a pigsty. Normally, this place doesn't look like this at all. But between the rehearsals, press, and everything, there's simply been no time. We've even tried creating a weekly schedule for each of us to sign off from, but Hawkins will just sign off on it without doing anything anyway. More importantly, Michael here won't hire a maid. Well, of course not. I know my place best. Your place? It was mine before it became, the nest, or whatever those two want to call it. My parents suggested this building years ago, so ever since then it's been home. Well, it was my home first, and then, well, it had the extra rooms. Aw, you're not gonna tell him that your parents also own the 2 floors above ours? Now that you've told him, there's no need. I wouldn't be surprised if Altair already knew that tidbit. So, when did you first move in here, Hawkins? Right before we talked to Warden, I think? That sounds about right. Right, Michael? Around that time or so, yes. But you're also leaving the part out that you arrived here on my doorstep with a fussy pink backpack and a jean jacket that smelled of rancid garlic. You told me you were penniless and that you refused to go see your parents out of fear that your psychic mother would be expecting you at their doorstep. With sole eyes on him, Hawkins pretends to whistle his way towards the kitchen. Hawkins, is all that true? About the garlic? Nah. About my mom? Yeah. Don't be denying the garlic jacket either. I had to toss it outside to let you sleep on the couch that night. That wasn't garlic you were smelling, but maybe it's better if I let you think that's what it was. Garlic it is. Anyway, after Hawkins came back from abroad, he and I began trying to figure out how Stellifier would fare if we did go independent. By then it seemed pointless for him to find any other place when I have the space for us to work and sleep here. We even have space for the smaller music room across Frey's bedroom. Basically, after your highness and I bought the guitar together, we knew we were all in for the long haul. And somehow, for reasons we still can't explain, we managed to get Frey to crash in with us. He didn't want to at first, which was reasonable. Was it because he just wanted his space? He was a bit spooked about diving back into things so fast, but he's doing fine now. Michael set him up with a nice room with a view. It's not as good as mine, but I think he knows that he can always go back to the little dingy one room of his. Or he could stick around here and save his gas money commuting from here to the uni and the music studio. Essentially, we bribed him. Well, obviously he took the offer. Just as I say that, Frey finally comes out of his room. He looks slightly less annoyed now that he's put his things away and made himself more comfortable. Even then, he's still pondering whether to join us. Do you have a lot of grading to do tonight, Frey? Not particularly, but... And for once, don't be a prince and join us in the nest. Look, we've even got a new tenant. New tenant? He better be joking. To my surprise, Frey brings himself to take the seat across from me. Now they're all sitting around on the sofa. Well now, what to do? The room goes quiet, yet their curiosity lingers upon me. I don't think they've realized that they each have the same look on their faces. This means... Oh my god. Does this mean they're all thinking the same thing? At once I clench in my seat. So, you still want to ask us some questions? Oh, right. I do. The poise in my voice keeps them on their toes as they carefully watch me bring my work back closer to me. If you're fine with me asking now, then... Okay, not asking the first one. Third one's funny, though. Like, I feel like the second one's probably the correct choice. Third one's funny, though. I don't want to risk it, though. I really do not want to risk losing Michael's thing, because I want it to be funny. So we'll go with the second one. When can I see your equipment? Oh, already? Are you being serious right now? Fuck, maybe I should have asked the third question. Never mind that shit. Am I dreaming? Maybe I should... I was like, no, the third option can't possibly be it. I think it was the third option. Why are they reacting like this? Wait, no, I can't be. Chuckling, Hawkins waits for one of them to stop him from raising his hand. I mean, if everyone's fine with it, we can all head to my room now. The second he gets up, Frey janks him by the belt back into his seat. No. Mate, he has to see it. No, he didn't. You have to be an idiot to think he wants to see that in broad daylight. But what if he does? He wouldn't be the first. What, Michael? Where are you going? At once, Michael silently rises from their seat and struts off down the hallway. Huh, now that's a first. I guess the Sylph's getting a little excited. In the meantime, maybe I can warm up the scene. No, you won't. Right, seriously, what's happened to you in all these years? Once upon a time, you were my wingman of dreams, and now what? Are you trying to be Michael's wingman instead? Or you think this is your chance for a solo flight? You both already had your roots. Chill. Never mind the fact I'm trying to spare Altair from seeing the Elder Torer lurking in your pants, Besides, you need to scooch back a little. What? Why? Because I've come back with precious cargo over here, that's why. Michael quickly Michael quickly returns, corralling a sleek white guitar in their arms. Wedging in between the others, Michael offers me a closer look at the glorious instrument. Here we are. I'm sure you've seen us bring Lilith around a couple of times to the studio, but we try to keep her here for our own jam sessions. Hawkins prefers using her over a piano. Really now? She's absolutely beautiful. She's one fine piece of equipment, that's for sure. Still, there's an even finer piece I can think of in this room. Don't you disrespect the Queen in her presence. Fine, fine, Her Majesty Lilith reigns supreme as always. May she forgive me for doubting her lily-white keys and all. But we really are happy to have Lilith with us. She's also the reason why Michael can never kick me out of their life. That's technically untrue considering you borrowed your share from me, but... You know you'd miss me too much if I was ever out of your life again. I know. I wouldn't want to put either of you two through that again. Right back at you, Prince. Just you wait till we all share triple custody over the next big purchase we make. It'd be fine if I was just granted visitation rights. Don't lie either, Frey. Jokes aside, it has worked out for us to be able to keep ourselves contained here. It's probably a relief for management as well. Have they ever said anything about you three leaving here together? A couple of times, yes. They're quite used to their other talents keeping their own space, but our situation isn't out of the ordinary either. Warden, for example, has quite a lovely modern home just for him and his family. Frey has visited him there before, isn't that right? If you're talking about his main home, I've been there a couple of times. I don't know much about his summer one, other than it's by the coast. It's where he posts his surfing shots from. So, it sounds like you know Arden quite well? Well... Yes, he does. He's just being a little squirrely about it. Imagine our surprise when we found out that he was still in contact with him after all this time. That's like his big brother. We're not all shy about owing that man our gratitude. Arden has always been there for us since we first started. He made it seem like it was possible to do everything at once, no matter how little time there is or how quickly it flies by. Even now, he's still trying to make sure that we've got everything we need for the comeback. Well, he also wanted to make sure you had everything you needed too. Without a word, Frey gets up from his seat. Neither of his friends seem surprised as they continue to watch him head to the kitchen before exchanging glances. Is Frey alright with us talking about this? I didn't think that Arden would be a touchy subject. Oh, Frey's just being Frey. Arden took Frey under his wing after we started, being similar personalities and the like. It's his big brother. But well, I'm sure it'd be more fitting if he brought it up to you instead. It's his story to tell, not mine. Surprised, I turned to find Hawkins also wholeheartedly agreeing with him. As I finally turn to Frey, I see him gazing out the window before his mouth tightens. Michael? Hawkins? His voice is stark cold, as he barely flinches while trying to summon their attention. I'm being serious, you two. What's the matter now? Are you even looking at... No, don't move, at least not yet. There's someone outside looking for a room number. Oh? You think they might be looking for one of the neighbors? You know why they're here. We've even got a camera with them. At once, Michael doesn't waste time lounging from their seat to check the rest of the blinds. The three of them are now on high alert. Do you see any logos on them, Frey? Anything obvious? I only see a camera, but they've got a book bag with them too. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Chatterbox Weekly again. Really? Them again? You know, maybe I really should have asked somebody down at the club about lending me some of the buffer security bros. What's so loud? I doubt he can hear us, but I'm still not taking a chance. Oh my god, I cannot speak right now, bro. Holy shit. I doubt he can hear us, but I'm still not taking chances. Of course, I wonder why. Hawkins shoots me a look as I also remain on high alert, only that I wish I'm still trying to determine how much of a danger I'm in. I casually look over to the window. I can see someone hovering by the door, but I don't recognize them either. Could they be from another publication? But surely they would know better than to... We need to hide him. Narrowly we need to, but does that mean you're thinking of answering the door? I sure as hell don't have any plans to, but just in case they think to look inside, I don't want them seeing Altair. The three of them keep looking back at me, yet I already know what's on their minds. Oh yeah, because like if they see me here, they're gonna... It's like, big scandal. Who is this mysterious person who was in Idol's home? Like, wow. God forbid they have friends. There's not many places that would be willing to hear us out if they saw me here. People forget there's more than one kind of journalist, and it's a certain kind even I have to watch out for. It'd be just as bad for them, even worse with the concert happening so soon. Knowing that fact, I'm willing to hide if that's what it takes. So, which of them is going to tell me where to hide? Michael, obviously. Before the others can volunteer, Michael steps in and beckons me to them. Come on, I know a place. It's still somewhere in this apartment, right? Of course, but why would you... Never mind. We want to take a left that way. Meanwhile, you two start calling management and don't open the door. Not even the paparazzo tries to bribe us with candy? Especially not that. I sure grin before Michael leaves them to their calls. He returns swiftly back to me. With a hand gently pressed to my shoulder, they guide me straight towards the pristine kitchen. And here I was expecting it to be as messy as the living room. Instead, there's a certain flow to the room with glossy walls and a sleek row of appliances all set in a marble counter. Not a thing looks out of place, and I get the feeling that's the case even when it's in use. If I can describe it, it's not just modern, it's very... Holding on to that thought, I turn to Michael just as they ease me towards the counter. Did you design this kitchen yourself? Hmm? What gives it away? Not just one thing, but somehow I don't see Hawkins admitting to spending his free time designing the perfect layout for a kitchen. So you really have noticed. Well, when I first got the place, there was no counter. So not only was it personally impractical to me, but we wouldn't have anywhere to be bending over. Say that again? I, okay. Okay. Instead, Michael takes hold of my hand and prods me to get to my knee on my knees with them. A little lower, lower. I see they're still circling the door. Can they even see us from here? Does it really matter right now? I'm ready to narrow my eyes when they instead lean into me, their airy voice at my ear. Regardless of whether they are or not, it's not a thing to be risking right now. You're the last person we should be risking. Even higher than Stellifier's reputation? You know the answer to that better than I do. Like I said, I'm glad I thought ahead about the counter. Sure, they thought ahead. But now I'm starting to wonder what kind of other stories this counter has to tell. How much longer will we last here? Suddenly I hear footsteps followed by a phone call hanging up. The coast should be clear now. Altair, you can come out now. With that, I slowly followed back into the living room. The three watch out the window before Hawkins offers me to join them. Nothing to worry about now, they're gone. Just like that? My inner journalist remains cautious as I try to take a look for myself. There really is nobody there. Still, they could be trying to stay patient. We're all thinking that as well, which is why we sought to contact Lorelei. Lorelei, my queen. They should be sending an assistant here shortly to help you get home safely. What about you three? That person could still try to camp outside of your door again. If they do, then at least now we're ready. Heh, you can say that again. I'm surprised by the sudden coldness in their eyes as they gaze past the curtains. On one hand, it's strange to see them acting more like guards in their own home. But at the same time, who can blame them when even beyond their doors and windows, their worlds might still never be their own. With a single sigh, Frey turns away and heads for the hallway. Frey, are you alright? He's fine, Altair. He just needs a moment. After dealing with the usual, we'll pretty much do. Despite their words, I find myself watching him head to his room in the shadows. For as many questions I dare to ask, I still don't think I still don't think I'll have my answer from him today. But there's always tomorrow. Oh my god. Also, hey, Michael, what the fuck did you say? What was that, buddy? Like... oh, snap loss. Why are you telling me there's a new snap bus? It's okay. No. Gonna... No, actually, no, I'm not. I remember what happens if I click on memories. I remember what I see if I click on memories. Never mind. Okay. Oh, this is easy for the second one. Okay, as much as I would love to continue and do day 4 as well, like I had originally planned, I can't, my voice can't take it. I'm like fighting for my life right now. But yeah, I'm gonna rest up my voice. Tomorrow I do have stream, but it's art stream. Probably do what I did the previous one, where it just kind of vibe with me. I don't really talk, so I can rest my voice. And I'll see how I'm feeling on Saturday and Sunday as well for those streams. Hopefully I'm fine by Wednesday. and we can finish up Michael's route then completely. If I'm still kind of so-so, we'll just do day 4. And then we'll finish the whole thing like the week after, probably. That's probably how it's gonna go. Depending on, again, how my voice goes. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan, tomorrow will be our stream. On Saturday will be Cult of the Lamb, and on Sunday we will start with Undertale. I'll be putting up the waiting room for the Undertale stream probably by Saturday at the latest. But yeah, having said all of that, thank you for coming. Leave a like, subscribe, all the stuff. You've been on YouTube, you know how it works. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.